Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Today's podcast episode, I have today with me Perez, great friend of mine. Appreciate you coming on here with me on this Zoom. First and foremost, before I get into any of the topics today, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. How about you? Thanks for having me also.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. 2020 is hectic, but all in all, it's okay. So,
Oh,
still.
yeah, it's going to get greater later, bro.
Do you think the current president will get reelected this year?
I honestly don't know, but I hope he doesn't, though. There's just a lot of things going on in the world.
Yeah.
I just hope, he doesn't get reelected, in my opinion. I don't like to get political with this topic, but, I hope he doesn't. I hope everybody goes out and vote and does their part because every vote counts, it's been a crazy 2020, and thank God, we still here, I just hope everything gets better soon, because it's been a wild 2020. A lot of people asking about, like, how's 2020 going for you? And I just tell them, hey, it's 2020,
Yeah, that's good.
I,
Yeah,
this year will go down in history books, like, for real.
for
It's probably
sure.
been one of the craziest years
Yeah,
that I've lived in 21 years I've been living, Last time I probably could remember, it's probably been something similar to it. It's probably like the recession. That's a couple years ago, or back in my hometown when we had a tornado. It was kind of hectic.
yeah,
But everything is gonna be all right. Just gotta stay positive. Everything will be okay.
yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with what you said. This year has definitely been hectic. And I think to your point of you saying he might get reelected is a lot of times it's not necessarily like one party out. And I don't want to get political either, but one party outdoing another. It's really just people not voting. Like I think the big mess up I'll say in 2016, the big lopsided, I guess, database in 2016. There weren't a lot of people who voted because of who was in the two parties. So I think and I've never been like this when it comes to politics, but you still have to vote. Like you as a citizen of this country need to vote because, and it's not just the president. People don't understand. It's not just the presidential election that you need to vote for. It's the county election, district, for the judges, the sheriffs in your area, in your community. Those votes really matter more so than not to say that you shouldn't vote for the presidential election, which you should. To my viewers out there, you should vote for every election in your town, presidential, whatever. Vote because the ones in your community are the ones that really matter and that will really affect you visibly. Like you'll be able to see, people who actually voted, like in the terms of like your, like I said, your judges, your sheriffs, top district people in your counties. So voting is definitely required.
Yeah, it's a big thing because if you don't go out and vote, then you can't be a part of the difference. That's like for being a mayor. People complain about the things that happen around town. Around the city councils, mayors,
Yeah,
sheriff's department, police department. But like a lot of these people are being voted in, and they are complaining about it, but they didn't go out and vote. So a part of it is their fault too. And I know everybody probably had their own opinion on it, but that's just how I look at it. Like I voted a couple years ago. Whenever I can, I vote, register to vote. I just feel like everybody should go vote. That's how the change is gonna happen if we go vote. We don't vote, a change won't happen. We'll probably be in the same predicament we are in if we get back in office. In my opinion, I just feel like a lot of stuff can be avoided if we was pressuring the vote. I feel like in high school, college, we should be taught how to register to vote. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it's just
yeah,
instead of just a lot of things we don't learn when we're in high school. Like we don't learn how to do our own taxes. Like you can do TurboTax, simple information. They don't teach us how to vote. It's
yeah,
all about some subjects. We need all subjects. I don't mean to get off subject, but we need all subjects. But the stuff that's being taught in high school is not translating to the world. Like they don't tell us about trades. They don't tell us to just go to college. They don't
yeah,
tell us about.
yeah,
You really don't need an education. Really, like a high school diploma, you do. Like they don't tell us about trade school. they're gonna tell us about 2-year, 4-year colleges though. But I just feel like it starts off in the younger days, high school, because you got to be schooled on a lot of stuff. But I hope like when I have a family one day that like the things will change in high school, like they'll teach things different, to prep the world, the younger kids to be better once they get our age, because some things we got to learn through social media. Like one thing I learned, like you learn a lot from social media, which I don't think that should happen. You should learn that stuff in college. I mean, not college, but high school.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about it, because social media is probably one of the biggest things in the world right now. You learn everything through social media. You learn a lot of things like killings, elections, all type of things through social media. It's just crazy.
Right, man. Absolutely. I think it's like going back to your voting thing, and that was a good explanation. It's like people who complain about people who get elected to vote. It's like you wanted to go outside, right? And then you decide, oh, I'm not going to go outside. But then you see all your friends outside, and then you complain about why you're not outside. Well, you didn't want to go outside in the first place, so why are you complaining? You got what you wanted, right? You didn't want to vote because you didn't like the parties. Okay, then you get what you get what you get. It's not up to you. So
Right.
I agree with that voting. And to your point of schools not being or that not being enforced in schools and a bunch of whole other stuff like taxes and trade, that just has to deal with lack of initiative in our. I won't blame the government, but it does have some part to it, which I think coincides with like funding, like the federal government not funding enough in the public school education. And it's a whole nother topic, but
Yeah.
it's definitely needed. Like more, I would say, implementing more subjects and topics, like worldly related topics in schools, specifically public schools, should be implemented and should be added to like the curriculum. So I definitely agree with you.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, everybody just watch this podcast. Please go vote. We need you. Please.
Yeah. Yeah, you heard it here. You heard it here. If you didn't hear from anywhere else, please go vote. Not just
Please.
for election. Vote. Every time there's a county, and if you don't know the schedule, you got internet. You got Google. All right. Look it up. Maybe if you don't have that good of an internet, go get a newspaper or something. Go ask somebody. Ask some people. They'll tell you. Wear a mask, of course. But ask some people, So that's important.
Go vote, everybody. Please. We need you.
Do you think the NBA has changed the world this year specifically?
Man, the NBA has shook the world up, man. Like they did a lot of things that wasn't supposed to be impossible. They made something out of nothing. Like when this Corona came, people was like, "Oh, the NBA is not going to come back. It's over with. It's not safe." I was sad when the NBA got canceled. I might have was sitting here watching the Thunder game before they even tip off. They said the game is canceled. I'm like, what? I never forget the guy at the Utah Jazz.
Oh
He
yeah.
had COVID.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew it was serious, that they canceled all the games because of one person and then it started spreading.
Mhm.
I knew it was serious. 3 to 4 months with no basketball. And that's my favorite sport. I love basketball. I watch it every day. I'm a LeBron fan. And I only know how I made it these last 4 months without basketball, to be honest. I go on YouTube, watch LeBron, different players, because I missed a game of basketball. And it also just taught me not to take anything for granted, even TV, going out in the free world, I don't take it for granted now, like every day is a blessing to wake up. Like I said, in the NBA, they changed the game. Like they create a bubble for players only, families not invited or nothing. And like it's working. As you see, like they get tested every day, all negative COVID-19 tests, so it's a smart bubble. And it also brings back, the fun and entertainment to TV, like later on tonight, I'm watching the 8:00 game, the Lakers. They play tonight. So it just gives us fans something to watch. And, I feel like the teams are, supporting Black Lives Matter. Superstars are coming out, using their platform to educate people on what's going on in the real world as far as like president, political things, police brutality, just a lot of things. I feel like the NBA is something that needs to be here, because people are love watching it. They're also getting motivated. It's just a good thing to be here. Like LeBron, he's just a good person. He's more than a basketball player.
Yeah.
He even had his own platform, not platform, but like TV station or something like that, dealing with he's more than an athlete. And he's also proven that he's not just talking. Like when Trump told him to shut up and dribble, he didn't shut up. He kept talking. Explaining what needs to be said in the world. That's why I look up to LeBron. I don't play basketball anymore. It's just because, he's a family person, It's more than basketball, I also read an article like a couple of weeks ago. He spent like $100,000 to pay the fines to the people in Florida, so they can vote.
Yeah.
If you don't pay your fines, you can't vote. And I feel like him donating that money to them shows how big of a leader he is. That's big because the money he's paying, that could be thousands of people, votes we need come election time and all different type of votings. I just feel like that's a great thing. That's why I love the NBA, man. A special shout out to the commissioner, Adam Silver. Like, he's a great guy, even though I don't know him, I just go off what I hear on TV and articles, because he didn't even have to allow this bubble to happen,
Mm-hmm.
And I also see that the players have like, names on the back of their jerseys, education reform, Black Lives Matter, different things that supporting this Black Lives Matter thing. It's just crazy because you never know like who's watching. It's just a blessing that people are finally seeing what's going on in the world, and hopefully we'll never have to go back through this again. But yeah, I love it. I hope it continues. I hope we can get back to the free world and just normal world also, and just have fans in the stands. Because it's kind of like awkward seeing no fans in the gym while they playing the bubble. It's just like they practice.
Yeah.
We know about it because we go to the student rec center. Nobody's in there but like 3 or 4 people. We could say that's our teammates. It's just different. But I learned that like you can adapt to anything. Honestly, I never thought I could adapt to this, but wearing a mask every day. But hey, we gotta do it. It's just some things that we just got to start cherishing more. You got to cherish fresh air now. You got to cherish not wearing a mask, and not wearing a mask. There's a lot of things we took for granted. Like going to stores. You got to stand outside just to go in the store. Because only so many people that can be there. And I just hope that one day the world can just get back to normal.
Hey, man, well said. Absolutely. I definitely agree with the majority of the points that you said, if not all of them. The NBA has definitely changed the world. And if you don't think that they have, then take a look at the NFL, see how they're doing. Take a look at the MLB, see how they're doing. So I definitely agree in the sense of the NBA changing the world like dynamically. Like the NBA has proven that it's not just entertainment. Like they're listening, like us, human, like other listeners. I would say, listeners who are fans of the entertainment world. To your point, it definitely proves more about the NBA now. Like if you didn't think the NBA was anything, they're more. LeBron James is more than an athlete. That has been proven on several occasions with his I Promise School, with his him donating to the fines or paying off the fines in Florida. The list goes on. LeBron's resume is great. Is absolutely amazing.
Speaks for itself.
Exactly, speaks for itself. He don't have to. He don't have to dribble. Like
Yeah.
he's more like he is more than an athlete. So to your point that the NBA has definitely changed the world for sure, and I think that one day you're absolutely right. I feel as though we should cherish the little things in our lives, and I hope as the upcoming years come that people in general can just kind of sit down and sit back and be like, you know what? Let me stop complaining about this little thing I have here because there's some people who aren't able, to breathe like I can breathe. Some people have to be on ventilators, every 5 minutes. No one, not a lot of people have any idea what it feels like to have limited amount of air, limited amount of breath in their body. So, yeah, you're gonna say something.
Yeah, like people dying from COVID. Like I have a friend, grandmother, she was in the hospital. They had like a scare. Shout out to her family praying for them, still praying for them, because COVID is real, and it affects our older generation, because they have weak immune systems and, they older. And I just wish COVID never came because it's affected a lot of families. And I'm praying for everybody that has been affected by COVID. My mom even had COVID. It's kind of scary because you see how many people dying from it. And you just praying to God, hoping, it don't touch your mom or your family, your close ones or anybody. But, it's spreading like wildfire, it's just crazy. I just hope one day they'll find a vaccine for it so we won't have to worry about it anymore. And, people say, it's just a virus, it's like the flu. But people die from the flu, but you don't really hear about it. But like, you seeing thousands and thousands of people dying in the U.S. I think it's over 600,000 now. And it just shows like the irresponsibility that people have shown. You look at other countries how they're being quarantined for like 2 months and they barely have cases. But our president, Trump, he don't want to do it. He don't want to do it. So I just like, man, I wish he would just shut it down for like 2 months back then. I just feel like it's all about money now. It's all about money.
Sure. For sure.
I had to learn money is not everything. I'd rather be broke and alive, because money is not everything, bro.
Yeah. To your point of yeah, if we had just taken like precautions, and I've mentioned this in several episodes, but if we had just taken the precautions earlier, we had a head start. That's what people forget. Like we had the chance, several chances, and here we are. But we're not going to dwell on the past. But I'll definitely say that and to your point of your mother being affected by COVID, I hope she's doing well, and I hope she's doing.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She recovered. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And to anybody else who has been affected or indirectly been affected, I hope your loved ones and friends are also doing well as well. But yeah, this thing is real. This is very real, and some people don't realize how real it is, until unfortunately it's too late. So wear a mask. Follow the medical professionals, not politicians. Please follow the medical experts. Did the quarantine have any effect on you at all, or no?
Nah, not really. It didn't affect me really. I still, did the same thing even before Corona came. You know, just I named COVID-19. All I had to do is take precautions on different things. How I approach stuff. Like I know I can't go on Walmart every day, can't go out like that. Like even though I'm a homebody, I just know I had to keep my distance from a lot of people. But it worked out pretty well. I had summer classes, so that kept me occupied in the house. I hung out with friends. Went to the park. Social distance. I wear a mask. I'm not gonna lie to you. At first, I was like, why do I want to wear? I don't want to wear a mask.
Yeah.
But then you start seeing how serious stuff gets. You just start doing the right thing. Because you don't want to affect anybody else. And I feel like the younger generation just don't care. Like a lot of people went to the club back in my hometown, just being irresponsible. And you just get the COVID-19 and bring it back to your family, and then it just translates to somebody else, and that's somebody dying. I just feel like you gotta be more responsible. But as far as the quarantine, I actually enjoyed it. At first I was kind of mad because they like be home by 7 o'clock. I like to just ride around, just enjoy life, listen to music, just ride around.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that for a moment. I had to be at home at 7 o'clock. Governor Ivy stated that we should be at home by this time, and or you'll have a fine or be some type of actions that you'll have to partake. I didn't like it, but you know, it's some things you got to do that makes you uncomfortable, but you got to do it. You know, you got to abide by the law. You know, but to be honest, you know, it gave me more ideas like how I want to adjust to things, like what I want to be in life. You know, it also gave me time to think about the law school I want to attend. It gave me time to myself to think about like how I'm gonna approach this fall semester with this COVID. You know, it kind of motivated me. You know, just be in the house like you don't have nothing to do but to think, like think and eat, bro. Just think and eat, read, homework. You know, I feel like you know everything happened for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, I just had to, you know, just meditate a lot because you know it wasn't our fault that this happened. Really, how did you treat quarantine? Like, how did you approach it?
Good question. It definitely changed me for sure. I think it affected me positively. It affected me for the better. It changed me for the better. Um, it made me more aware of like my life in per se, and it definitely got me motivated, like in the sense of doing things that I should do, and like you said, thinking, like actually, thinking. And I remember my dad telling me, like all throughout growing up, sit down, when you got your busy schedule, sit down and think, about your day, think about your future. And I was like, I don't want to do that, but if you just take five, and this goes for everybody. If you take 5 to 10 minutes, uh, if not every day, every other day or every week, sit down, think about not just the day you just had, but like what you want to accomplish the next day, 3 days from now, a week, a month, 7 months. Just think. It's going to allow your brain to, first of all, rewire itself, because you say you had a long day. It's going to allow your brain to rewire itself so you can get all those boggle thoughts out your head. And then
Right.
it'll leave more room for you to think about other stuff that say you want to do, in the near future or in the long future. So take some time out in your day. It doesn't have to be 10 minutes. It can be, 2 minutes or a minute. Just think anything. Let your mind wander. Your mind can take you to various places. And I'm not trying to sound like some 76-year-old, prophet. I'm just being in general. This works for a lot of people. Just sit down and think. I know I went on a tangent there, but that's okay, because I think it is important to teach people that like it's okay to think and to imagine, like a lot of, and that's part of the reasons why I wanted to add my name for this channel, Dream King, because I feel like dreams are so important and they're not emphasized enough in society today. Because dreams really, like, you can really live in your dream if you wanted to. Society has kind of put their foot on that, a lot, and pressure that down to where nobody talks about dreams anymore. And people think dreams is hocus pocus. Oh no, dreams are not hocus pocus. They are visions. And I'm not trying to get religious, but dreams are religion, are visions and images in your head and thoughts in your head that God has put in you. So it's not hocus pocus. It's God actually showing you what He has for you in the future. So
True.
hold on to those dreams that you might have. Hold on to all of them. Don't make that mistake of ignoring all your dreams, and then when you get to 60 and 70, you realize those dreams were not hocus pocus. You realize you could have actually done something with those dreams. Don't do that. The earlier, the better. But again, remember, it's never too late.
Right. How you think the world will be next year around this time? Like, do you think they have a vaccine for COVID-19, or you think we're probably still masked up?
I think it will be both. I think we will have a vaccine. I don't know how effective it will be, because I don't know. I'm assuming it will be, for the best. It'll be updated right. But again, I don't. It could be, that's what the vaccine could have flaws. But I'm hoping, preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. But I also think people are still going to be wearing masks, just because people are going to be used to it. And of course, it's going to be like kind of what it is now. Some people wear masks, some people don't. It's going to be like that. Some people are going to wear masks, but it's going to be for different reasons. Some people will wear masks because they're just used to it and they're like, okay, even
They're adapted to it.
vaccine, yeah, exactly. Even though I know there's a vaccine out there, I'm still gonna wear my mask. And there's other people who are like, oh, there's a vaccine, so I'm not gonna wear it. So it's gonna go both ways. So I think um, it'll definitely be different. I will say it won't be as bad as it is now, but it'll make no mistake about it. This changes everything. There will
Oh yeah,
be going
yeah.
back
This
to
going.
normal. Like
Yeah,
the normal, like 2018, 19 normal, nah. It's gonna be a new normal. So
yeah. This going down in history books, bro. Like
yeah.
this gonna be in a history book at the bottom right corner. You know, back in high school, middle school, like in history class, that had like the key facts, the key
Yeah,
notes
yeah,
and stuff. Like, hey, 2020 going down right there, bro. Like, I'm
yeah.
telling you,
Coronavirus, impeachment,
pandemic,
trial.
right,
Yeah. Maskers,
man, just
anti-maskers. Yeah,
crazy,
that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be a lot for the kids to handle.
right.
What are some ways you help people in day-to-day activities?
I feel like I help. I help a lot of people, to be honest. You know, back at home, family. I help families as much as I can. You know, anytime I call, about it can be anything. I try to be there. You know, I feel like family is family. You know, you got to be there for them at all times, even with friends. You know, I'm big on loyalty. You know, like no matter how somebody did me, I'm always doing right. You know, like I feel like I want to be the type of person. Well, I am the type of person, but I'm just saying once I get my name out there after going to law school, I just want to be that person that everybody comes to and runs to, you know, the Call of Duty, you know. I just want to be that person. Like anytime they need anything, they know they can depend on Perez. That's how it is now. You know, it's been like that for years. Even in high school, like something going wrong, they call me. Need anything, they can call me. Like they know Perez. Hey, speed down. Perez. People tell you Perez got a great heart. You know, I'm not just saying that because I'm talking about myself, but I know if I wasn't here and somebody was speaking on me behind my back or behind closed doors, they'd say the same thing I'm saying now. Like Perez has a good heart, one of a kind. You know, ain't too many people like Perez. You know, I just feel like I'm a different breed. You know, a lot of people can relate to me, but it takes a good person to understand me. You know, and why I do the things I do for people. You know, I'm not the type of person that's gonna throw it in your face. You know, I just charge to the game, you know, if it's a negative in it, you know. But I feel like I'm big on helping people, you know. I love helping people. You know, I help a random person, you know. I I gave away shoes to the homeless, you know. Anytime if I got spare change, I give it to the homeless. You know, I'm all about helping people because any day it can be you, you know. You can have $10,000 a day, you can have $0 tomorrow. You can be eating steak today, you can be eating noodles tomorrow, you know.
Mm.
That's why I just think you should treat everybody how you want to be treated. Like that's why I don't tolerate mistreatment of other people. You know, I hate to speak on this, but like before I came to school, it was an altercation I got into with somebody at a gas station, and she didn't like how things had escalated. You know, it was a homeless lady. She wanted food, you know, and I bought her food. She was on a trespassing order. You know, I believe you should abide by the laws, but like I feel like I'm about a lady food. And, you know, just going by the day, you know, and I just feel like, you know, people don't want to look out for their own kind. And it'd be heartbreaking sometimes because you're supposed to look out for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You got to treat everybody like family. You
Yeah.
know, no matter what nobody does or do or whatever, everybody make mistakes. You know, just because somebody been convicted or did this or don't mean they're a bad person. You know, everybody make mistakes, you know. I'm just big on the opportunities, you know. If I can help somebody get a job, I do it. You know, there's been plenty of times it could have been me, but I said, hey, bro, it's for you. I give it to you. You know what I'm saying? There's been a time where I had a job interview and, you know, somebody got the job before me. You know, I didn't even get picked for the job, but they got selected for the job. And, you know, I'm the one that told them about the job. So I just feel like, you know, it's not a race, it's a marathon, you know. You know, I try to just be good to everybody. You know, like I said, you can have this much today, but you can have nothing tomorrow. You know, that's why I treat every day like it's my last, to be honest.
Yeah, man. Wow, that's a lot. I actually, and I want to discuss before I answer the question. I want to discuss what you said, because I could never. I don't know. I feel because I was taught like you shouldn't, talk good about you in the sense of talking good about yourself in the sense of like, prop yourself up. And I never really knew how to do that. Like, so I was hesitant when people were like describe yourself, and not because I don't know how to describe myself, but it's like I don't want to sound arrogant. Like I believe in myself. I believe I'm a good person. But like, if I tell you, like, I always thought, like, in my head, like, if I tell you I'm a good person, you're gonna think I'm arrogant, and that's not the case. Like, I really mean I have good intentions, and I'm not just saying, like you said, I'm not just saying it because it's for gloat or showboat. So, um, I'm glad people see that in you, and I can see that in you that you have a good heart
I
and
appreciate that, bro.
are just a genuine person. So, I definitely appreciate and probably envy that. So I'm not saying I'm not a bad person, but we can all
Yeah,
strive for better.
yeah. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's. And I think I have accepted that and just been very comfortable in my skin because of that. And I think, I'll answer the question now. I think I help people in a variety of ways. I'm not a believer of Raheem doing one thing good. I don't have something, I don't have one thing that I can do awesomely well. I can do a variety of things good, decent, average, pretty well. Like I can do a variety of things. So I don't, but the one thing I definitely can fall back on is helping people, um, genuinely just being a genuine person, motivating. This is part of my motivating, lessons. I guess that I do. I love to motivate people. I love to uplift people's spirits. That's something that has always been with me since I was young. My parents have told me that, and it's very clear. But I feel as though I help people also in a variety of ways, not just physically. Sometimes, people don't want, sometimes people don't want money, and as crazy as it sounds, I talked about this in the last video. Sometimes you helping somebody with money that's doesn't do anything. Okay, they have, $15, $20, but like,
Yeah.
did you
Sometimes people want to hear they're proud of you.
Exactly. Sometimes people just want to hear, words of encouragement. They just want to hear, "How are you today, man? Like you seem a little down and out. Like you good? You want to talk about it? You want me, get you something to eat or something? Do you want me to want to hang out? Like whatever. What do you want? Some people just want like wisdom, and as crazy as it sounds, like a lot of people, and those who won't admit it, a lot of people would rather have encouragement, like somebody who can uplift them, than all the money in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, money is not everything, bro. I had to learn that years ago. My mom always told me, boy, she said, boy, money ain't everything,
Mm.
Spend it. That's what she
Yeah,
told me, spend it.
yeah,
And another thing, I'm motivating too, I try to have positive vibes only,
yeah,
It's always bad when you got negative vibes around you, it just don't connect. Negative and a positive is not gonna connect. I feel like I motivate a lot of people. A lot of people tell me, it will make me want to keep motivating people because you never know, like, who's watching, who's listening.
yeah,
You could change a life at any time without even knowing. I know sometimes I post motivating things on Instagram, social media, and then some people slide up like, bro, you different, bro. Like, you different. Like,
yeah,
I even had a couple people tell me back in high school, like, they looked up to me and, that I motivate them. And that's a great feeling because it tells me that I'm doing something right. And it also tells me God put me on this earth for a reason.
yeah,
And, that's why, no matter what happens, someone comes to me with negative vibes, I try to just turn to a positive. I'm not saying like I'm perfect. We all have our little days, but, you got to find a way to, make the best of it, to be honest.
man, do what you got. Absolutely.
Man, bro, this is what I've been meaning to ask you, bro. Like, how do Black people self-motivate themselves, bro? Like, I've been searching for that. I can't find a good answer. So, bro, give me a good answer, bro. I know you got it.
I'm gonna give you a good answer. All right. So, how do Black people self-motivate themselves? I think it comes in a variety of ways. Black people have, I'll say, we're definitely, we have if we have a passion and we're passionate about something, we're gonna go after it. So that could be one. So like, if you're an athlete, if you're passionate about football, basketball, baseball, track, you know, you're gonna, put in the hours. You're gonna be, at 6 a.m. workouts, before everybody else. You're gonna stay for 3 or 4 more hours after everybody leaves. Like so, and that's just from an athlete standpoint. That's not going into medicine, or law or politics or business, the business world, whatever the case may be. So I feel like Black people can self motivate themselves. It's really the mind. It goes back to the mind. I feel like, and this goes for anybody, but specifically Black people who feel as though so many obstacles are in front of them, they have so many challenges. If you just sit back, relax, not relax in the sense of sit back and slouch your shoulders, but sit back, take a deep breath, and really think and try to reason with what all am I trying to accomplish. The road to my finish line, to my destination, is not straight. It's going to be some windy roads. It might be some hills, peaks, valleys. You know the saying. So Black people can self motivate themselves strictly based off the mind. And if you can't do
Right.
that, then you just take baby steps. No one's asking you to take this big leap in life. You don't have to do that. All you gotta do is, if this is you, and I would prefer this, take baby steps in what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to get to the other side of the football field, you don't have to run a 4 to get there. Sometimes, you might have to take a slight right over here, maybe a slant left over here. Maybe you got to take a couple steps back so that when you take those couple steps back, you can push yourself 25 yards forward. You get what I'm saying? So my point is, Black people out there, if you want to self motivate yourself, it's all gonna have to start with the mind. You're gonna have to sit down, train your brain, rewire it, and think of a plan. If you don't have a plan, think of a plan of how you want to get to your destination.
I always want to know, like, what's your definition of a neighborhood hero?
Neighborhood hero. Well, obviously it's not Spider-Man, but I think my definition of a neighborhood hero is, I think it's somebody who does more for others and expects nothing in return. So, and it's somebody who doesn't even seek to become a hero. They do it because they're a good person. They do it
It's
because
natural.
they're good heart, or they do it because they understand it. It's just the right thing to do. It's like you hear stories on local news channels of garbage men and sometimes women who pick up trash along the side of the street. They don't even work for the garbage people. They're just neighborhood people. Like neighborhood homeowners, and they just pick up random trash. They don't do it because they want the glory or they want to be gloated or showboated. They do it because there's trash in my neighborhood. I need to make sure it looks nice. If nobody else is gonna do it, and my high school teacher once told me this. He said, for those if you want to get something done, there's always going to be those people who say, somebody else is going to do it. And then the next person is going to come up and say, somebody's going to do it. Well, guess what? You're that somebody else. You're that person who's going to actually get rid of the problem and come up with a solution. That's you. You're just telling yourself that it's someone else. Because if you keep telling yourself, somebody else is going to do it, nobody's going to do it. So
Yeah, you're right, bro.
you have to say to yourself, I actually forgot the question, to be honest, but I'm going to stick on this path I'm at right now. If you want to get something done, just say you're going to do it. And if you can't do it, ask for help.
Yeah.
My dad always tells me that you should always, don't be afraid to ask for help. It doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't make you inferior. If you need help, ask for it. No one wants you don't want to be $10,000 in debt. And then 6 months from now, you're in $200,000. You could have asked for help at 10,000. So go ask for help. Ask people, how do I get out this rabbit hole that I'm in? How can I escape this? So here's the thing. So to become a neighborhood hero, you shouldn't strive to become a neighborhood hero. You should just strive to be a good human. So that's
Right.
a good answer.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a great answer, bro. I believe that's the answer that I was expecting from you, bro. Like, you gotta ask people that have the same mindset as you,
Yeah.
high level questions. You can't ask somebody, that shows a lot of signs of ignorance. A question like that, and I appreciate the honesty, bro. Like, honestly,
Hey, man, no
that's a
problem.
big time answer right there.
Hey, man, how do you think, or how do you feel? What is your reaction? I'll say to the police brutality in this country.
It's unacceptable. Like, I'm pretty sure they were trained to treat people like that, and I just hate, I don't have a problem with the police, I know great cops, I just feel like it's unacceptable, and it's like one in trouble, we all in trouble,
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that to a certain extent because it's not a lot of bad cops out there, like I said, like what happened in Minnesota, you see how the police officer kneeled on his neck, like
Yeah.
for a long time. You see what everybody did across the country. They showed like a lot of force towards the police. Like it was crazy. It kind of showed a lot of ignorance on us too. Like why go loot businesses? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I
man.
don't feel like that was a good idea. Because that's what people work at the end of the day. I love the protest. Like it should have been done a long time ago. You know, and I love how that happened. I didn't get a chance to go to it, but I watched, via Facebook, the news, because COVID was going around. I was trying to be cautious, so I didn't attend none of them. But like I said, it's good police out there. It's just like I said, one person messed up, they all in trouble. And I feel like all police shouldn't be punished because of other people's actions.
Yeah, very true.
Because I feel like a great person like me with a great mind like me that think like all police are not bad. Only ignorant person would think all police are bad because if something happens, who you call? Police. Someone's get killed in your family, who phone you gonna blow up? The police. You know what I'm saying? You get in a car wreck, a bad car wreck, who you calling? The police. So that's why I'm not like big on, I hate the police. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta show a different type of love to the bad ones, Like it's really no love, but I have no problem with the police. That's why I don't understand why people just so big on forget the police and all that type of ignorance because there's some good ones out there. It's just like we need more good cops, more people that want to like help people instead of abusing the badge. That's how I feel about it. I'm not gonna say forget them, because they're human just like us. They got families just like us. The good cops have families just like us. They got to go home to their family at the end of every shift. But I feel like a change gonna come. They get all the bad cops out eventually. They'll probably a more efficient background check. Just a lot of extra steps. Maybe 4 years of college, more than 13 weeks of training. You just never know. But I feel like it's gonna be a big thing coming real soon that'll change a lot of things. But yeah, this is how I feel on this subject.
Yeah, I definitely agree. In the sense of it's to me, it's not the police men and women out there because you're right, they do have families, they have lives after they finish their day shifts and night shifts and overnight shifts. But I'll say this, I think that it's not the police themselves, I think it's the system. So
Yep.
because them following the system, and when I say system, I mean law enforcement system, it's very corrupt. It has been corrupt. It is not for. I feel like it's not for the. Let me say this. Let me make sure I word this right. Here's my thing. I don't think that the system, when it was designed and when it was constructed, I don't think it was designed entirely to protect all people. I think it was entirely to protect the police themselves. So in a lot of these cases, we hear, and I don't hate any police officers. I I have one of my neighbors, and I'm not trying to say this to pull my car or anything like that, but I have policemen in my neighborhood. So obviously, like these people have families, like you said, they have lives, you know. So my thing is not, you don't need to, remove the police. You don't need to do that. You need to fix the core problem, which is the system. If you fix the system, the police will change. I'm a firm believer that if you fix the system that's corrupt, the police will change. They have to abide. If you're abiding by the law enforcement, they're going to change. So there are definitely good ones out there, and there are bad ones out there. Just like there are good doctors out there, there are bad doctors out there. So
Right.
in a sense of this year specifically, police brutality has definitely been a no-no. And as Black men in America on this line, um, you do feel some kind of way when you either drive by them or they drive by you, pull up next to you at a light, or you see them in a restaurant, they walk in. I instantly shape up, like automatically. And it's not the fact that I'm gonna die. That doesn't always run through my mind, but it's a sense of that I need to be on guard. I need to be as perfect as possible. And as for some people who don't see that, they don't see why I need to do that, then I'm sorry. But we're living in a time, in American time, where some people have to think like that because of just how they look. There are Black people out there who are dreaded, tatted up. Like they're this is why, like, this is what gets me. It's it's not that Black people are afraid of the police. And I'm branching on. It's the fact that the police, it's what is showing on the news is a vast majority of young Black people in general that are being, specifically males, that are being abused, that are being overpowered and killed by these policemen. So it hurts. Police brutality is unacceptable. Like you said, it should not be this bad. I don't understand why. I'm gonna let you say something because I'm getting a little bit off topic.
Yeah. I think it get better. Like I said, it just 2020 been crazy, so
Yeah, for sure.
that's why I just feel like 2021 would be way better. Like
Yeah,
people will approach it differently, But like I said, you're gonna always have a bad 3, 4, 10% of bad cops, and then you're gonna have the other percentage of good cops and okay cops. So I think we're gonna be all right in a couple years, to be honest though. Like it's gonna be a lot of change, to be honest, But we'll be all
yeah,
right. We're gonna get through this.
yeah,
2020, you hear at the end, so 2021 will be
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Just
I
like
heard
that.
that. 2020, hurry up. Let's finish this out. Let's finish the year out strong.
2021 our year, bro.
Yeah, man. What made you want to become a lawyer?
I made the decision to be a lawyer probably like 2 or 3 years ago, like, to be honest. When I got to college, I love sports. I still love sports. I want to be a sports agent, and I started getting on the criminal side, took a criminal justice class at Calhoun and fell in love with it. And I started Googling jobs in the law field. And it was like a criminal attorney. And I was like, wow. So I graduated from Calhoun Community College in Decatur in Huntsville, Alabama, with an associate's in criminal justice.
Good,
And I
man.
had an internship at the a district attorney office, and it was pretty interesting. You see every day people getting sentenced, and I
Yeah,
just feel like a lot of people wasn't getting a fair trial. The lawyer wasn't doing a great work on their case, and they were just having to cop out to pleas to 20 years. You know what I'm saying? When really they could have got lesser time if the lawyer worked
yeah,
harder on the case. And I like that. And like I said, like money plays a factor in a lot of things, And I told myself from that day forward that I want to be a lawyer so I can help other people. It's not about the money. If I'm being retained, that's good. But if I'm being appointed, still great. I'm still going to work the case as it's being appointed or me being paid regardless. I'm going to put in the same amount of time, the same amount of work, hard work, I'm just going to do it. And then I got a lot of family members in the prison system. They probably, wrong is wrong. I'm not going to take that away. But I feel like the lawyer could have done better, And, you know, that's what made me want to be a lawyer, so I could help people, you know, fight for their freedom, you know, get to learn the law. You know, I don't care about the money. As long as people getting the right amount of time put in their case, you know, because that's what it's all about. You fighting for their freedom. It's not about the money. The money going to come regardless, to be honest. It's going to come. You know, people not going to want to have you represent them if you just half doing it. You know, they want somebody that's going to fight for them, you know, pick up the phone, email them back. You know, it's all about communication skills when you're dealing with being an attorney. You know, I plan on going to law school probably sometime next year. I'm undecided on the school, but I know I'll be somewhere next year. And, you know, I know it's going to work out for me. You know, next 3 or 4 years, hopefully I'll be attorney Nance, to be honest with you, bro.
There you go, man. Hey, you got to claim it before you can obtain it.
Right.
How do you plan on going about, you know, going through, because you're going to have challenges and obstacles. How do you plan on going about that and finding a plan and creating a plan, you know, for those days?
You know, I always got a plan. You know, like I said, back when we was quarantined, you know, I already had it mapped out how I'm approach law school. You know, like being here at UNA, you know, I got to approach law school different because it's a step higher. You know, you're dealing with attorneys as your teachers. You know, it's gonna get tough, but you know, I've always been a go-getter. You know, I got a strong mind, so I know I'm gonna have obstacles. You know, I'm already preparing for it. You know, I'm focused on my mental a lot. You know, I know I get through it because I've never been a quitter. You know, I'm gonna go get it. You know, regardless, no matter how long it takes. It can take me 5 years. I'm gonna have that law degree. You know, it may take me 4 years, 3 years, but I will have it. That's like me. If I don't do too well on the bar exam, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep taking. If I gotta take it 10 times, I'm gonna be attorney Nance regardless. You know, it doesn't matter. You know. Yeah. You know, if you got a plan B, then you don't believe in plan A. That's why I have a plan B, bro.
And I like that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I need everybody to subscribe to Dream King Podcast. You do not want to miss it, man. You will get raw, uncut, motivational type of words and everything, man. Y'all please subscribe to it, man. Please.
What you doing?
Nothing. They don't subscribe, bro.
There you
Dream
go.
King.
There
go
you
subscribe.
Go. There you go. You heard it here, Perez. For those of you out there, my viewers, that is the end of this podcast episode. To my viewers out there, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and comment down below. Tap that bell for notifications and subscribe to the Dream King channel for future videos.